Hello everyone and welcome to the top 8 from the Fort Wayne, Indiana Regional Championships. I am Kyle Sucevich here with Drew Holton.
Woo!
And we have a weird matchup, I want to say. So Matt here, he was doing really well. He went 8-1 through Swiss. He's been having a heck of a season so far with his Darkrai Hydreigon deck. He wins his top 32 match against his worst matchup possible, this Darkrai Garbodor deck. Somehow pulls a win out. And then he comes here today and they tell him, you didn't write down the set names or the set numbers on any of your Hydreigon line, or any of your Pokemon in general, actually. And they're saying, well, there's 4 different versions of each of these cards. You have to replace them with basic energy. So now, instead of a Darkrai Hydreigon deck, he has to replace his entire line with basic dark energy. So he's got about 20 energy and just 3 rare candy for no reason.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable to do that, make that mistake.
Yeah.
It is Matt, obviously, he doesn't win too often, so you can't really blame him.
Yeah, he's changing things around, though. I mean, he's had a good run. And the most remarkable thing is he won his top 16 match. Without the Hydreigon, he still won the game. He has 20 energy and just 3 dead rare candies in his deck.
His opponent has to be like, what happened?
Yeah. And he still managed to pull out a win. So like, it feels like it's almost like he's destined to win this tournament. He took out the Garbodor deck. He won the top 16 match, and well, we'll see if his luck can hold up here.
Yeah, the whole world's against him, but he just keeps on rolling.
Yeah, now Ross, of course, we know Ross. He's a 2-time Worlds finalist. Look, and Matt's just staying like random receiver, and like 10 of these cards are energy already. So, it's pretty funny to see. But, you know, maybe Matt, he's onto something here. You know, you play that many dark energy, you're going to get him in the discard pile. You're going to start the dark patch really quickly. You'll get some quick Night Spears.
Unfortunately, he has a lot of like dead cards. He has the max potions, which aren't too good anymore. And
those can
like
actually still be useful too, though, since you play so many energy.
He's got 4 rare candy or 3 rare candy, something like that.
So it's going to be interesting, to say the least. Matt, one of the good things is that he can't start with Dino anymore, I guess. So you're going to start Sableye or Darkrai most of your time. He does have Mewtwo as well and Shaman. So those are some...
Yeah, I don't think he plays Energy Switch, though, so it's really has to have him in play for a full turn, which is awkward.
Yeah, you can see he's like contemplating putting down the Mewtwo here, because he did get a Juniper. So he wants to put that Eelektrik on something. But yeah, just to get back to Ross, we did cover him in this tournament a couple times. He's just playing a Rayquaza Eelektrik deck. The little twist he has is the Victini, the Victory Star one, so he can actually just paralyze you continually if he keeps flipping heads. But Matt, he's going to play this Juniper and just decides against the Mewtwo, which I think is correct. You don't want to have that.
Yeah, you don't want it just sitting there on the bench. Can't really use it.
Yeah. The paralysis is what the Victini is for, just to slow your opponent down. Most of these Darkrai decks, Matt's too, does not play Switch. So if Ross can manage to slow him down with Thunder Wave, it's going to be a big deal. But, you know, Matt, he's got a ton of dark energy in discard pile already. He's got this Dark Patch, and he's going to Junk Hunt. So he's going to threaten a turn 2 Night Spear.
Yeah, I would say he definitely is getting a turn 2 Night Spear. But Ross, you know, he's going to probably get that paralyzation thing going and try to slow Matt down.
And Matt's pointing out the rare candy as well. That is not going to be useful in this matchup. So there's 2 things that can slow Matt down. Number 1 is the paralysis, Thunder Wave. Number 2 is just a catcher to bring out the Darkrai so that he can't Dark Patch to it. But you can see, like, there's so many energy that it's actually becoming pretty easy for him to get a turn 2 Night Spear, which
pretty consistent.
Yeah, turn 2 Night Spear can beat just about anything. You put on enough pressure, Darkrai is just good enough on his own. But I think Ross is gonna be prepared. I mean, he knows what Matt's doing. He knows that Matt doesn't have the Hydreigon in his deck anymore. And he's a very smart player. He's gonna know. All I need to do is like paralyze you a few times, just try to draw it out. I'll just power up my Rayquazas, and knock out your Darkrai's, and there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah.
So unless Ross just gets terrible hands, I would think that he's going to be a huge favorite. I mean, how can he not be with Matt? Like 9 cards from Matt decks missing.
Yeah, Ross is a very paced player, very thorough. I'm sure he's just examining all options, and he knows what's going on. You can see how long he takes to search his deck, so he really, really has a good feel for what's going on at all times.
A lot of people, I think Ross has actually gotten a couple warnings in this tournament so far for slow play.
I'm not sure. I think he did, though, in like top 32 or something. There was a little bit of a controversy there.
Yeah. All right, now here we go. Ross is going right for that Victini. He understands. And all right, if I just paralyze Matt and buy some time, I'm probably just going to win the game. But, you know, it's not a guaranteed thing still.
If he flips 2 tails here, that's huge. Matt would just be bearing down with a really fast Darkrai. Maybe he could get rid of that Victini too, which would also be huge.
Yeah, I mean, if Ross goes double tails here, it's only 75% chance to flip a heads when you get 2 shots at it. So 1 out of 4 times, you're still not going to be paralyzed. And if Ross misses it this turn, and Matt gets the turn to Night Spear, this game can spiral out of control very quickly.
He definitely needs a heads this turn, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, Matt, he could catch out Victini and just like take that option away from Ross, or he could just knock out the Dynamo and do 30 to the Victini, setting it up for a later Night Spear knockout.
Yeah, in Ross's earlier games, we saw his opponents really like catch out his Eels and other Pokemon to stall for turns, try to break that paralyzation lock.
Yeah.
But all those people were playing hammers in their deck, and Matt, he doesn't have that option.
Yeah, Matt, he's just got dark energy. But Ross, he is going to level ball for a second Dynamo. So I guess he's going to have plenty of Thunder Waves to go around. Even if Matt does get a Night Spear, he'll have another shot at Thunder Waving. And, you know, I mean, Ross is one of those players that takes his sweet time when he's playing. And these paralysis things are just going to draw it out even more.
Yeah, those slow it down, and, you know, this could have been a fast game, I think.
Oh, all right, there's 1 tails. We got a reflip. And he got a heads. So that's going to slow down Matt considerably. And, you know, there's a lot of things that can still happen. Eelektrik is notorious for just kind of crapping out. I mean, you just play 1 supporter and then you just don't draw another one. For some reason, this is a deck that's most prone to that sort of thing. So anything can happen here.
Yeah, that's really one of the reasons why they put in that paralyzation thing. You've seen that. That's one of the trends, I feel.
Yeah. It definitely just buys you some time to set up. Matt plays an Ultra Ball and actually does not take anything.
I think he had a Darkrai in his hand, so maybe he's thinking, yeah, I don't really need anything else.
Yeah. What else does he even have? I think he plays like 3 Sableye, 3 Darkrai, a Mewtwo, and a Shaman. And then 3 non-existent Dinos. So if a Darkrai is prized, like he only has 2 attackers left. He'll have the Shaman, I guess, eventually, but
it's not really a good attacker. Only has 110 HP versus like Rayquazas.
I mean, he's gonna need it.
Yeah.
So he does get a Dark Patch. He's gonna put a Dark on the other Darkrai. Next turn he'll be able to Night Spear. I mean,
yeah, he can Night Spear this turn really too, but the paralyzation.
Yeah, and this is just kind of the beauty of Ross's deck. It's something that really just kind of showed up out of the blue. A lot of people just kind of showed up and came to the same realization that, you know, if I paralyze a Darkrai a few turns, I can just power up a Rayquaza with a ton of energy, get a huge Dragon Burst, and knock out a Darkrai in 1 hit. And then, you know, they'll Night Spear me, and then I'll just keep paralyzing them again and power up Rayquaza again. And then eventually you'll just knock out all their Darkrai's, and you win the game.
Yeah, it's one of those things. This is the development for this tournament. I'd like to see what happens next tournament. To do the Darkrai decks, start playing Switch, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one part of the metagame. It's just interesting to see how it's kind of shifted from Battle Roads to this regional here. People kind of busted out their big tech cards, and Victini was one of them. I was just surprised to see that it actually showed up in a lot of Eelektrik decks.
A lot of people were considering it.
Yeah. Just for little old Dynamo paralyzing you over and over. Who knew?
Yeah, this is going to be a huge grind. Ross, the games I covered with him earlier, I think he took 3 prizes one game and 2 the next. So this could be a little bit of a grind.
Fortunately, I don't think Matt will have much to do on his turns. So it's either Night Spear or pass if he's paralyzed. Pretty much all there is to it. The thing that's making this even longer is that he put an Eevee on his Sableye the first turn. And it's not even taking damage from Thunder Wave. So even if Ross paralyzes this, this game could just sit here forever if he keeps getting ahead.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, you know.
Yeah. Now Ross is going to, looks like, play an Ultra Ball. I don't know why else he would discard those 2 cards. He discards a Switch and an Eelektrik. And he's going to go for the Rayquaza EX.
Yep.
So he's going to start powering that thing up. As you said, Matt does not play Crushing Hammer. So he's not going to be able to stop this at all. He's just kind of going to be sitting there, and then it's going to get an energy, and it's going to get another energy, and then it's going to be like,
all right, time to go.
That thing's coming. I can't stop it. And really, that's all there is to it. There's the fire. That's the big energy you need to get. Eelektrik can power you up.
Another crucial flip. Man.
Yeah, you can see Matt's playfully frustrated. But these guys are friends. They drove here together. And
they drove here together. Maybe they're not driving back together.
Not after this one. So, I mean, Matt gets another Eevee Light down. I think he plays 3 actually. He added another one to his deck before this tournament in preparation for Terrakion. So, the Eevee Lights will help out a little bit because it makes Rayquaza discard an extra energy unless Ross has a Tool Scrapper.
Yeah, we've actually seen, I don't think I saw a Tool Scraper out of Ross. Before in these situations, he would use Raikou to do 10 damage twice with Fang. And then do the Rayquaza.
Yeah, so not only Dynamo has the paralysis, but the Raikou EX has it too. And there's just so many paralysis flips. I mean, I feel like it's Vanillix all over again. Stuff's just paralyzed infinitely, and then Rayquaza comes in to finish the job. I mean, what do you think Matt can even do in this situation?
He just needs Ross to flip 2 tails. Ross really doesn't have anything going on for him, you know, but another heads.
Yeah,
he just
all
has a
Matt
couple
can do is power up his Darkrai's, and
yeah, all 2 of them.
The thing is, Darkrai, I mean, he's great early on. Night Spear is a great attack, but it's not the strongest attack in the world. So if you're sitting there and you're like both powering up all of your Pokemon, Rayquaza is gonna beat Darkrai.
Oh yeah, you know, you need the Rayquaza or the fast Darkrai, apply pressure and put 30 damage out. That sets stuff up for late game, and right now he just can't do that.
Yeah, most of the time your strategy with the Darkrai deck is just catch out Eelektrik, knock it out, because when Rayquaza uses Dragon Burst, you have to discard all the energy. So if you can take out the Electrics, they'll never be able to power up another Rayquaza.
Yeah, late game, they're just not able to keep up with you with the energy department.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. The Rayquaza deck actually usually takes the lead. Like, they knock out the first couple Darkrai's, but then, like, the last one they can't knock out because all their Electrics are gone.
Yep. And also, if the Darkrai deck's playing hammers, they can give her the fire energies, but obviously Alvis is just stuck. He can't do any of this.
Yeah, he's going for just the 3 rare candy, the fake out, to make his opponent think he's playing a stage 2, and then 20 energy.
He should have played a couple of fightings in there, you know, had to fake the trick.
Yeah. Maybe play some Psychic so you can side drive with Mewtwo.
Some grass.
Some grass for his Shaman, yeah. Alright, so Ross really doesn't have much, but the Thunder Wave thing has bought him so much time. This is really Eelektrik in a nutshell. Like, imagine if you weren't paralyzing Matt every turn.
Ross doesn't even need the Victini. He's flipped heads 3 times in a row in the first roll, I think. So
yeah.
He's just that good.
Yeah, but just imagine if, you know, that Victini weren't there and, like, he missed a paralysis flip. Man, just Night Spears, and this game pretty much ends. But
yeah, especially that first one.
Oh, yeah. So this Victini is just it just changes the matchup completely. You know, it's something I heard Pram talk about.
Oh yeah.
Before this weekend, I just kind of rolled my eyes and was like, yeah, that's Pram for you.
Yeah, we were talking about it like in our show pregame last week, and he was just like, "Oh, this Victini thing," and everyone's like, "You're crazy. That's a Pram thing to do."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, I understand. It's good if you paralyze them, but I don't think that's something you can rely on. But apparently it is. Ross is proving that here.
Yeah, it's definitely a frustrating thing to play against.
Yeah, I mean, Ross, by his own right, is a fairly slow player. And then when you don't even get to take turns, I mean, I would like to have like a chess clock to just time.
Yeah, I was thinking about that when I was doing his earlier games, because especially like the first few turns, he really takes his sweet time. Oh.
All right, we got a tails here. Does he get double tails? Wow, Matt. All right, this is Matt's opportunity.
Yeah, he needs.
You can see he's wearing his terrible Matt Forte shirt. He's a big Bears fan, but let's see. He definitely shouldn't leave Sableye up there. He should just go for a Night Spear.
Full steam ahead. You got an opening.
Yeah.
It's not like you can do anything else.
I know.
He's got no tricks up his sleeve.
Yeah. So he's gonna Night Spear the Dynamo for sure. Probably just 30 on Victini.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he might consider catching the Victini.
Yeah,
that's an option.
I can see that, but at the end of the day, you probably just want to take out the Eelektrik still. So taking out the Dynamo is a big thing. I don't even think he has a catcher. He doesn't have anything actually. He's got.
Looks like he's got like.
He's got rare
potions,
candy.
Rare candies.
So let's see what Matt targets down. He should definitely go for Victini here. I mean, if the Dynamo evolves, then you catch the Eelektrik, and then you get the double prize on the Victini, since it only has 60 hit points.
We'll see if Ross will go back to Dynamo here and start Thunderwaving again, or what.
He's got 2 energy on that Rayquaza right now. If he gets a third one, it's still going to be short. He needs a Dynamotor and a Lightning. So, or a Lightning and a Tool Scrapper if he plays it. Like you said, I don't know if he even plays it. He played it during Battle Roads, but he might have cut it at this point.
Victini had to get in there somehow.
That's true. So, I mean, Ross, he really hasn't had a very good hand. He gets the Eelektrik out, though. But this is kind of...
it's a weird spot.
He's standing on thin ice here. Like, he can take this knockout, but if Matt has a catcher, he just catches the Eelektrik. Down goes the Eelektrik and the Victini, and all of a sudden Ross is just left with the Rayquaza in play.
Yeah, he didn't really set up too well behind his lock. You know, he had it for like 3 or 4 turns, but all he has to show for is 1 Eel and the Rayquaza, which is going to remove all his energy in this attack.
Yeah. So Ross is going to Ultra Ball and discard a Fire. One thing I noticed about Ross, if you just take a look, every single one of his energy is different. Like, you see that Fire? It's the Heart Gold Soul Silver one. The other Fire is like a base set one.
Yeah.
He just discarded a Matrix Fire energy. I don't know why he does this.
Yeah.
Maybe just like keep track of which ones he has left. But usually people try to like have some sort of consistency with.
Yeah, there's like 2 schools of thought. I think you either have everything the same or everything different.
Yeah.
So you can tell which cards you've already seen before. I don't think it's that big of a deal because you can search your deck on the first turn usually and see everything in your deck. So to me, uniform cards would be ideal, so your opponent doesn't know.
Yeah. Now Ross, he just Ultra Balled for a shiny Rayquaza. He might have a couple Dynamos prized here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be really unfortunate for him.
If
he had to feel like a huge favorite knowing the Hydreigon was gone.
Yeah. Now he is going to Super Rod and shuffle in a Dynamo and an Eelektrik. Maybe he did that out of order or something. Actually, all right, I see what he did. He just grabbed the shiny Rayquaza because he wanted it out of his deck. So he might have an N or something.
Yeah, even then, it seems like Dynamo was prized, maybe.
I think he had another Ultra Ball, so he just wanted to discard the Rayquaza with the Ultra Ball.
Wanted the Rayquaza out.
Get it out of his deck. He realizes I'm not going to use this at all in this matchup, which is a big mistake. Shred
is very good versus Eelektrik. It goes right through there.
Yeah.
Does the perfect amount of damage.
So, but it looks like he's just going to go Rayquaza EX, knowing that Matt doesn't even have Crushing Hammer. Yeah, there's a Juniper. So this is not looking good for Matt. I mean, Ross still needs to draw a lightning, which is not a given. I mean, he's got 3 out there already. You really can't afford to play a whole lot of lightning energy. You get like 7 or 8 because you have to run so many fire energy. So there's a real possibility that he just does not draw a lightning here. The other thing is he might draw a catcher.
Oh, he's definitely got a lightning. I saw it.
Does he? Okay.
Yeah. You can't really read him from his reactions though, because he's gonna play anything slow.
Pretty much, yeah. Ross, he likes to think it over about 5 times before he finally makes his move. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Just at some point, it gets a little frustrating if you're playing against him. I mean, you do have to be aware that you can't take all the time in the world. Your opponent does get a chance to play too.
I don't think so. Not with the. Oh, and there's the tool scraper. Oof. So he hit that.
So that tool scrapper is going to make it so he only has to discard the 3. And let's see, if he has a lightning, I don't even think he attaches it anywhere. There's nowhere to even put it. So Darkrai number 1 goes down.
It does not look too good for Matt here.
Yeah, he draws an N. He doesn't have a catcher currently, but that N is going to be big. He's going to put down the Shaman, I think. That Shaman EX is actually going to come in handy, I think, if he can manage to Revenge Blast the Rayquaza and take it out of play. If he can take all the Eeelektriks out and then follow up with Shaman at the end, he might have a shot to win with it.
It seems pretty hard to do.
It's going to be tough.
I think Ross is going to avoid knocking out the Sableye and just go straight for the 2 EX Pokemon.
That's true. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that, but, it might just be... Really, that's Matt's only other attacker.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
also.
he has to put it down. It's just... it's funny, though, that this is actually still kind of a close game, considering Matt doesn't have anything in his deck anymore. It's just Darkrai and Sableye. The Hydreigon line is just gone. But you can see just how good Darkrai actually is against Eelektrik, that you take out the entire strategy of his deck and replace it with basic energy, and he still has a chance to win.
Yeah, it's a very strong attacker versus the Eels. And when you take out the energy acceleration, all you got is a Rayquaza. It discards its own energy. It can't really power itself up.
Yeah. All right, let's see. He's got an N. He's deciding not to put the Shaman down. And he needs a catcher.
Yeah, he definitely needs a catcher.
There's no way around it. He's got to catcher the Eelektrik and then probably take out the Victini. Take 2 prizes there. Try to fish that last Darkrai out of his prizes. I assume it's prized. Otherwise, you would have grabbed it with Ultra Ball earlier.
Yeah, I agree with that. And he is only playing 3 Darkrai because he runs Hydreigon.
Yeah. So he had to discard his Mewtwo as well. That's not going to be an option. Does Matt draw a catcher there?
Oh,
okay. So Matt, he's not out of this by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, the N to 4 could definitely mess with Ross. We've seen N just disrupt people all the time.
All day.
And...
Alright, so he's going to contemplate here. I think you definitely have to pick the Eel.
Yeah. Definitely catch Eelektrik. Take the double knockout. He'll actually take a prize lead, believe it or not. And...
taking his time with this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough decision when all you got is a Darkrai. This is really like your last attacker.
Not sure why he would pick the Tynamo.
No, he wouldn't.
Seems like an easy choice.
Yeah, you need to take the Eeelektriks out. I think he's considering like attacking the Rayquaza and just softening it up. Yeah, he's
it
making
is
the
an
right
option,
move.
but you'd just rather take away the energy acceleration.
Yeah, definitely. That's the right move. He was just considering maybe I can 2-hit the Rayquaza EX and take out the Victini, take away his way to stall, and then catch out the Rayquaza, take 2 prizes that way. But this is definitely the better option. And Ross, he really needs to draw something to get out of this, because what he has now is not going to cut it.
Yeah, he doesn't have anything going now. And Rayquaza has 2 fires on it. Would he waste a 3rd fire if he hit that? If he hit an Eel and the 3rd fire?
It's tough because he discarded another fire, but I think he actually shuffled it back in with
super rotted it.
He would definitely do it if he has it. I mean, obviously it's risky, but you definitely do it.
We see
He plays plenty of fires apparently. And then we see random receiver for Bianca. Now Matt, he got his Darkrai out of his prizes, so
oh wow,
he's gonna have another attack.
He's not gonna run out of attackers here. Sableye holding down the fort.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta hand it to Matt. He's making a game out of this with what he's given. This is Ross Cawthon. This is one of the world's best players, and Matt's giving him a run for his money.
Yeah, this is just how good Darkrai is for Seals.
Yeah. And, I mean, I guess there haven't been too many hard decisions for Matt, but he's also playing it pretty well. He's definitely a player that's improved a lot this season. In previous years, he hasn't really done too well. But this year, all of a sudden, he's just kind of like lit a fire under him. He went undefeated to win a Battle Road, and he went 8-1 in Swiss. He's won his first 2 top cut rounds, and he's definitely got a shot here to take out Ross too.
Yeah, he's got to be kicking himself for not writing down Hydreigon.
Yeah. Well, Ross gets an Eelektrik and a switch, so he Dynamotors to the Rayquaza. If he gets a fire, he can definitely get a knockout here.
Yeah, he's gonna get 5 cards, I believe.
Yeah. And then Matt, he's gonna need a lot of stuff to follow up with an attack. So does Ross draw another fire? I mean, he's probably got at least 3 left in his deck.
Yeah, we saw him flip over several with the random receiver.
Yeah. But if he misses here, Matt is going to still be good, I think. He'll have another catcher to knock out Eelektrik. He'll probably hit the Dynamo for 30. Either that or he can hit the Rayquaza, actually, and then set up for Shaman EX. That would actually be a game-winning play because he would go down to 2 prizes. And then if Ross knocks out an EX, then, it'll do enough damage with Revenge Blast to win the game.
Yeah.
So we might see Shaman EX actually come into play, manually attaching.
I don't know if he has enough attachments for that, though, if he has enough turns of attachments, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm just kind of assuming that the Darkrai lives through the turn. Because at this point, I guess I should just assume Ross doesn't have anything. He just takes his time no matter what.
He takes his time. He takes his time for sure.
Yeah, so he's probably just oh, no, he doesn't have the fire. I was going to say he's probably just deciding which art of fire energy he wants to put on his Pokemon. Because he's like, I could do the Matrix energy or...
black and white.
But no, just the lightning, and man, he's going to live through this. Ross puts down 2 different Raikou EXs as well. So he might resort to the Thunder Fang strategy at some point.
Looks like he's just going to throw it up there for stall a turn.
Yeah. All right, so, Matt, he's got a good shot at this. He's going to put
down... He can hit an Eelektrik too?
Yeah. He's got a 3rd one in there. 2 of them got Tool Scrappered away. He's got a 3rd one. He's definitely got a catcher this turn. Catcher the Eelektrik. He could do that, actually, or hit the Raikou for 90 and Dynamo for 30. It threatens a game-winning play.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If Ross can't evolve that Dynamo. It's risky, though. If Ross does evolve, then you lose. You pretty much lose the game.
It's over.
But you can set yourself up for a win if you do that. The safer play, of course, is just to go for Eelektrik.
Yeah, he can also hit the Rayquaza EX for 90, maybe.
Yeah, he can do that too.
Do it that way.
Yeah, catcher the Rayquaza, hit it for 90, then Dynamo for 30. Probably does the same thing. So there's plenty of options left for Matt. Night Spear works out very well against Eelektrik. And
yeah, this is closer than it looks.
I mean, yeah, you look at it and say this guy doesn't have his actual deck. It's just a shell of what his deck actually was. This guy's just gonna get, he's gonna get destroyed. He's facing Ross, but no, he's actually technically he's winning the game, and he's got a good shot to pull it off.
Yeah, if this was like a Swiss game, I would say it's probably about time now, and he's got a chance.
Oh, he's gonna go for the Rayquaza, so he's setting up that play. And it's really going to put pressure on Ross, honestly, to evolve that Dynamo. Because if he doesn't, and if Matt gets a Dark Patch and another attachment, it's actually game.
Yeah, he's going to end too, so Ross could definitely whiff on 4 cards.
Oh, yeah. Ross, his deck is kind of thin at this point. He did super run an Eelektrik back in at some point. So there's
one's
definitely
in the discard pile. And
yeah, so there's at least one left. usually play 4 Eelektrik, so there's probably 2 left in his deck. But he's played a lot of level balls and a lot of ultra balls, so he might whiff. It's a possibility.
Yeah. Even if he does whiff, he could go back to that like Raikou paralyzation strategy too, which we've seen him do.
Yeah. Let's see if Matt draws anything here. Of his 3, no, he does not. So that's not going to be good for him.
It's like a rare candy Ultra Ball blend.
Yeah, see, this is why I would prefer to take the Eelektrik there. Just take the knockout on that. Because you could actually, at this point, you've end Ross down to a low number of cards. You could set up a play with Shaman EX to actually just take your last 2 prizes with knocking out the Rayquaza.
Yep.
And you could use a turn to just to junk hunt, get some resources back because you don't care if it's not.
Yeah, he could have played the Shaman down earlier and maybe attached him at some point. And there's the video game challenge today, so I have some announcements for that.
Alright, sorry guys, those were some very loud announcements. The video game thing is going on, so that's why there's so much noise here. So those are going to happen every once in a while. There's nothing we can do about that. But, yeah, so Matt did 90-30. Can Ross evolve that Dynamo? He doesn't play Max Potion or anything like that. He doesn't play any healing cards that I know of.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing any.
So, but Matt, he cannot use Night Spear unless he gets a Dark Patch. So
yeah,
he still needs that.
Is atrocious off of that end.
Yeah, I mean, there's still a couple catches left, I think. But this has to be so scary for Ross. It's really just, even if Matt doesn't get the catch, or even if Ross doesn't evolve the Dynamo, it's still, if he can knock out the Rayquaza, he's down to 1 prize.
Yeah.
And then he'll do 30 to the Eelektrik, and then it's just 1 more Night Spear and he wins the game. So it's really just going to come down to, can Matt get the Dark Patch and power up his Darkrai to get another Night Spear off.
The prizes,
yeah. This is so close, which is so strange because the first couple turns Matt was just paralyzed infinitely, and now.
So Ross probably has like a Bianca here or something like that.
Yeah, I would think so. Actually, yeah, you might as well just play the Switch.
Yep.
So he needs an Eelektrik here to feel safe. I'm sure he'll get it off these 7. It's too many cards to go through to not get it. Unless he's got 1 prized. He might have to hit the last one in his deck. But this is a pretty easy decision for Ross. He doesn't have to think too hard about this one. And there's only, you can't run 4 different Eelektrik, so there's no decision on what art he's going to play either.
I think he's pretty safe now.
Yeah.
He's going to knock out this Darkrai, and then he can go back to paralyzation if things go horribly wrong.
Yeah, he could. He'll also get a couple Dynamotors off here.
Yeah.
So Matt, he kind of missed his window of opportunity. I think he screwed up a little bit by not taking out that Eelektrik last turn. I mean, I don't know if it would have mattered either way, but
yeah, he could have played this Shaman earlier in the game, and
that too.
I think this would be where it would be useful.
Yeah, it's definitely not over yet. Matt, I mean, let's say he top decks an N, gets a Dark Patch off it, and all of a sudden Ross is in a whole lot of trouble. His Rayquaza goes down. He's got 1 turn to stop Matt from winning the game with another Night Spear. This is really, really close. And I mean, Ross, he's gonna get 2 Dynamotors off. So this is the bad part. If he has a fire, it's pretty much game, I think, because he's gonna be able to Dynamotor next turn.
You just use Rayquaza's attack again.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
But he's going to Dynamotor 1 to Rayquaza, 1 to Raikou, and no fire. So we're going to see a knockout here with Dragon Burst. And then, if he doesn't get a fire, he actually cannot win the game. So it all rides on this top deck, I think, for Matt. And it is
There's the Shaman.
That's not going to help him out.
He's going to have to junk hunt this turn and hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, Matt is pretty much done for. He's 1 turn off, basically. He can bench the Shaman. I don't even think he needs to at this point. He might as well just power up Darkrai.
At this point, I think it's bad because it's just going to get hit for 100 on the bench probably, and then the Rayquazas are going to finish the game.
Yeah, so...
It doesn't matter either way, actually, because Darkrai gets knocked out by 2 hits as well.
I mean, Matt, he can junk on here. I think he's going to have to go for like a random receiver and a catcher.
Yeah.
So he needs the catcher next turn and knock out this Rayquaza, which will obviously go to the bench and just get powered up probably. And then he needs to try to get an N and get Ross down.
He definitely needs to hit an N off the random receiver.
So it's going to be tough no matter what. I saw Ross has a catcher in his hand. So if he has a switch and a lightning, the game's going to be over too. Or switch, or just a fire. You can just catch your Dynamotor twice to the bench.
Trying to grasp at straws here for Matt's sake.
I am. I mean, let's be real. Ross is in a dominant position here at this point. But, you know, I've seen stranger things happen. I mean, it's not over until you have all the cards to win the game. So, little things can happen here. Anything's possible with N. I saw a game with Ross in Battle Road where he had like 5 cards remaining in his deck. It was like 2 fire, 2 Bianca, and a switch. And if he draws 2 Bianca or the 2 fire, he wins the game immediately. And he draws the switch. And it's just like, what? Stupid things like that can happen all the time.
Yeah, so that just happens when you've played forever.
Yeah. Matt, I think this is actually kind of working against him. He's taking a really long turn here. He makes the right choice by attaching to Darkrai there. And he might be better off just like Ultra Balling away the Shaman at this point. Get those cards out of there.
Next turn, I would say so.
Yeah, maybe
depending on what he hits off of.
So he's going to get a catcher, and he needs a random receiver too. The question is, well, he does have a random receiver in there, I think. He played a first turn.
Yeah, it was when he revealed all his dark energies.
Yeah. So, he's going to take a Dark Patch. I don't like that. He's going back on it. You can see he goes for the Dark Patch. That's pretty much... I think this game's probably going to end this turn anyway, but... It's alright. Yeah, there's the fire.
Oh, yeah, it's over.
Alright, we're going to move on to game 2. Got the catcher, 2 lightning, and yeah. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the first game. It is best 2 out of 3, so Matt will have a chance still to win. That was a very close game where Matt was just fell a little bit short.
All things considered, it was pretty close.
This is going to be a series. I mean, Matt, all he's got is Darkrai, but sometimes all you need is Darkrai. He's pretty good.
He's spectacular.
Darkrai, he was 7 out of the 8 top 8 at Worlds this past year. He's been dominating a lot of Battle Roads so far.
These are actually the 2 big winners at Battle Roads right now, duking it out.
Yeah, and at this tournament, actually, Eelektrik was very underrepresented.
Yeah.
A lot of Darkrai decks really took it over. Mainly the Darkrai Terrakion deck was very popular at this tournament. As we're down to the top 8. I mean, we still got John Roberts, the second is in there. Henry Pryor, Nicholas Campbell, who finished second at regionals last year in Wisconsin, and then some lesser-known players. We have Tyler Keller.
Henry Pryor still in.
Yeah, we have Greg Simon, a player from Minnesota who hasn't played much recently.
And obviously James Stumbo, who we've done several games for.
Yeah, so we have a very mixed field of players from all over the country. I mean, when you have regionals split up into 3 weekends, this is just kind of what happens. People will travel to this sort of thing.
Yeah, this was a huge event, 329 Masters.
Oh yeah, this was
great attendance.
Yeah, it feels like a Nationals pretty much.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Has there been a Nationals with that attendance level?
Yeah, I mean, probably like in 2005, it was probably that big. Yeah. Game's grown a lot since then, but back in the day, this was about a Nationals. 2004, I don't think it was nearly as big as this tournament even was.
No, I don't think so. And that was a huge tournament at its time too. You know, looking back, the game has come a long way.
Yeah, and here we are here with two guys who've been playing it since the beginning, pretty much. Matt Elvis and Ross Cawthon. Now, a lot of people, they kind of know Matt Elvis because he's like the friend of Jason Kaczynski. He's never really had...
The sidekick.
Yeah, kind of. He's never really had too much success of his own, but this season he is coming into his own. He's won some tournaments here and there. He's won like some battle roads in cities.
Yeah, he's been a lot more active this year than in the past.
But pause for extremely obnoxious announcements.
Yeah, that's
apologize for those. Can't stop it though.
Super loud.
Yeah. All right, so Matt, he's never had like a big win, or even like a big finish somewhere. Like,
I mean, battle roads are pretty big for him.
He did go undefeated to win battle roads, but he would love to get just something on his resume. He's been playing for a while. He tests with like Jason and Chuck, and I mean he plays with the best. So, is he gonna start with? He's got a Darkrai. It's almost a shaman. He probably was really scared there for a second.
Yeah, I don't remember actually any big tournament where Elvis has gone far.
Yeah, he's actually made top cut at nationals quite a few times.
Yeah, I don't know. He's been playing for however many years he has.
Yeah, I mean, he's made like top 64 at nationals before, maybe top 32 here or there. But yeah, no huge performances.
See, he's gonna get another kind of fast start. He's got this Ultra Ball and a Juniper.
Yeah, he's got an Eelektrik, a blend on the active. He's gonna get a dark in the discard pile. I would be surprised if he doesn't start with a dark energy ever. I don't even know if that's possible anymore.
He runs a higher number.
Yeah, it's got to be. I think it's actually 15 basic dark now, with the 7 cards from the High Dragon line.
Plus he's got the blends too.
Yeah, and then 4 blend. He's gonna grab a Sableye just to give himself an option to Dark Patch to it and Junk Hunt to get a turn 2 Night Spear. It's funny that all these decks are trying to go like speed Darkrai when the key is actually just running more energy, I think.
Yeah, I think we've definitely seen in this game, he's able to hit those dark energy in the discard pile pretty easily.
Yeah, but he misses his Dark Patch. That's going to be big. It's going to make turn 2 Night Spear extremely difficult. He's going to need to hit 2 Dark Patches. And, when you only play 3, like I think he does.
Yeah.
Turn 2 Night Spear is probably not going to happen this game. But, it could. He could draw 2 Dark Patches still. But Ross is going to play an N.
Alright.
Who knows? If he draws a Dark Patch off this and then gets a supporter.
Yeah, you never know with N.
Yeah.
You just never know.
Rossi starts with the Raikou. It's not going to pose any immediate threat, but, the Thunder Fang can start coming. And Victini comes out, as long as it's not prized.
Just slows down to a crawl.
Yeah. Alright, so does Ross get anything? It looks like he's got a catcher. I don't think that's going to help too much. He can kind of ensure that Matt does not get a Night Spear if he catches that Darkrai out.
Well, the odds are pretty against it either way. The Sableye doesn't have an energy either, so...
Right. Now, does Ross have any way to get Dynamos out or anything? Does he have an energy?
He certainly takes his time no matter what, so...
Yeah.
This could be a while.
Let's see. Ross, I mean... He hasn't even played a card yet.
He hasn't played anything. He hasn't attached an energy for the turn. He just passes. Wow.
So he really must not have much. Oh, this is going to be Matt's big opportunity, but he's got a handful of energy.
Who would have thought?
So he really can't even Junk Hunt for anything. He might actually be better off going for a Confuse Ray. Maybe it'll stop Ross from paralyzing him if his Raikou's confused.
Yep.
Yeah, he really doesn't have any better option here than Confuse Ray.
Here he goes.
He can Junk Hunt for Ultra Ball, but what's the point?
Oh.
And so that 10 damage really doesn't do anything in terms of math. But
does Ross have a supporter here?
I'm
Or
sure
anything? He
you
has to
can't.
have something.
You can't draw that many useless cards. Like, you have to be able to play
He's gotta have
something.
like 4 eels in his hand.
He's probably got like the 4 Eelektrik and a Juniper. One of those kind of
Can't
hands.
do anything. I see a Bianca in there, so
Oh yeah, so he'll have something. He might have an Ultra Ball as well. I see him setting aside 3 cards. It does look like an Ultra Ball.
yeah, it's definitely an Ultra Ball. Must have top deck. Yeah, I guess he didn't necessarily have to top deck that.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rush to get anything in play. Even if you get a Dynamo, like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.
There's no lightning in your discard. You probably don't have the cards to get Eelektrik.
Shiny Ray and a catcher.
Okay. He's probably going to grab a Dynamo here. I wouldn't think he'd get anything else besides maybe Victini, but he probably wants something he can bench. So he's going to get the Dynamo, I'm sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't put anything past Ross, just the same. This search is probably going to take a while as he figures out what his prizes are. You see a lot of top-level players do this.
Yeah. Ross takes exceptionally long with doing this, though. I recorded a game of Ross's before at a Battle Road, and someone who watched the video actually timed out his search, and it took him 90 seconds to complete a level ball, just the searching and grabbing his Pokemon, which is well against the rules.
Well past the time limit.
Like, you're allowed some extra time on your first search to just kind of check out what's prized, but
a minute and a half is going away.
yeah. So there are 2 judges watching the game, so if anything's wrong, they'll definitely tell him. He's already gotten a warning for slow play because he is notoriously slow, but looks like he's grabbing the Victini, so he's definitely trying to stall this game out.
Yeah.
And when I say stall, I don't mean like trying to like cheat Matt out of a win or something. He's just trying to buy time.
Using his paralyzation.
Yeah.
We call it a stall tactic, sort of, but it's a legal move.
Yeah.
Legal strategy.
He has a Dynamo as well, and it looks like a switch, so he's just going to play out as many cards as he can for Bianca. But now that we bring that up, something that actually could happen is, Ross won a fairly lengthy first game, and we could see a situation where he does just paralyze Matt until time gets called, and Matt can't take the 4 prizes to win the game.
Well, these top cuts are 75 minutes here at this event, so that would be extremely unlikely, I feel.
Like you said, I wouldn't put anything past Ross. But, I mean, he's switching to the Dynamo, so the Thunder Wave, it's going to start, man.
Here it is.
Paralysis. This flip actually does not matter, because Matt can't Night Spear either way. It's going to do it anyway.
So well. I wonder if he just practiced that before that event or what.
Like I said, that flip doesn't even matter. Matt can't attack. So the next one is going to be the big one, because Matt can Night Spear if Ross gets a double tails.
Looks like Matt might waste the catcher. I don't know about that. Seems like just a waste.
Yeah, it is a waste. You definitely just save that here. You save that for Eelektriks when you can get big knockouts.
It looks like he's almost frozen. He's got that pose.
Yeah. It's like you don't know if you're doing the right thing. Okay. Oh, he's going to do it. That's definitely a waste of a catcher there. He's going to try to slow Ross down. Maybe he's thinking, maybe he doesn't have an energy or a switch. And that's not the right time to try to buy your time, though.
Yeah, I saw this tactic a lot yesterday where they would have a horrible hand and they've had 1 or 2 catchers and they would just waste their catchers trying to stall.
So Ross does have the energy. He's going to be able to retreat on Thunder Wave. It's not going to be a problem. And he's just going to do the same thing he did last game. Sit there, build up Rayquaza, paralyze, build up Rayquaza. There's the first Rayquaza EX. And the slow destruction of Matt is going to start here.
Yeah, we're going to see a little bit of a grind time here.
Yeah. We have our first result from the top 8 match, actually. We have Henry Pryor advancing to the top 4.
Oh, wow.
We'll have plenty of other matches here. 3 left. You know, this is one of them, but I just want to update you guys on some results. Not sure how any of the other matches are going, but that is the first result we have here.
Alright, so he did flip another heads.
Yeah, oh, he had a tool scrapper too, right?
Yeah.
So he actually got to do damage this time. Matt is putting down a Mewtwo. Really doesn't have anything else. Might as well use his energy attachment on something. And if he can, you know, sit here long enough, maybe get a Mewtwo with like 8 energy on it, you can start X-balling.
He needs quite a lot of time, but then again, Ross is just paralyzing.
Yeah. So he's like, yeah, I can play this game too, Ross. I'm just gonna build up my Mewtwo. We'll see who comes out on top.
And he is holding 2 Eevee-lights as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere to even like put those. I guess he could put one back on the Darkrai, but did it take 10 damage? Is that all?
I think it only took 10, but can't really read the damage counter.
Yeah, if it's only has 10 on it, then you would definitely just put the Eevee Light on it, because that makes him still have to discard a 4th energy for Dragon Burst.
You have to figure he's going to get another 10 after this turn, though, and then it's irrelevant.
Yeah, but where else are you going to put that Eevee Light? He only got 3 Darkrai's to work with.
He's got the Mewtwo on the bench, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would still just like to put it there. Force, what else is Ross going to do to put 10 damage on it? Thunder Fang would be the only thing. And at that point, like, he's putting 2 energy on a Raikou instead of just the extra one on the Rayquaza. So you're kind of forcing him to waste an energy still.
Alright. The moment of truth here. He's doing some damage calculations.
Yeah. He's like, uh-oh, Mewtwo. If I sit here for the next 7 turns and Matt powers that up, he can start X-balling to knock me out in 1 hit.
Yeah, if my Rayquaza has too many energy on it.
Yeah, I guess that is a concern too. Like, if you charge that thing up and Matt's
lift.
just like charging it up along with you, you need a combination of 9 energy to get an X-ball knockout. So, maybe.
It's kind of tough. Matt doesn't play those energy switch.
Yeah.
Doesn't play that Hydreigon.
Well, he tried.
He tried.
He's got the rare candy though.
Tried to pull a fast one on everyone. He's probably switching his deck throughout the day. His Hydreigons.
Alright, so Ross here, I guess he's just kind of scared of flipping double tails. He could just get Night Spirit and Tynamo and gets knocked out. So let's see what he decides to do. Just going.
Level ball.
Alright, 2 minutes later he decides to level ball for an Eelektrik. Or I don't know, maybe it might not be an Eelektrik.
Yeah, it is kind of ridiculous that, I don't know, it feels like he goes regularly past the time limits.
I mean, I don't know.
There are guidelines.
Yeah. I guess I shouldn't complain about it too much. But, it's making our job tougher. We got a lot of time to fill here. So he finally gets an Eelektrik out, and here comes the Thunder Wave. Another heads.
Man, he just rolls with those.
Yeah. So Matt gets a random receiver. Puts an Eevee Light down on his Sableye.
That's very pointless.
Yeah, that's definitely not the right move. Oh, he put the Dark.
That's also kind of pointless.
Yeah, why don't you just put that on the Mewtwo?
I don't know. Maybe he's got like a swoop teleporter into Darkrai here.
You can't even do that on EXs, man. Yeah, it's. You got me, Matt. I don't know what you're doing there. Maybe that's just to throw me off. There was a game that Matt played that I recorded where he benched a Tyrogue from Neo Revelations just in the middle of the match, or Neo Discovery. He's just in the middle of a serious Battle Road match, and then just one turn he puts down a Tyrogue, puts it on his bench. They set it up just to trick me. But this seems like a legitimate thing he's doing. He actually attached the energy. I don't think Ross will let him take that back.
Not anymore.
So Matt, he's really agonizing over these decisions.
Yeah, his decisions are really straightforward, though. He doesn't got anything going on.
Yeah. He does take back the Dark. So maybe that was just to trick me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, he did that on purpose. I can see it in his eyes. I'm looking at him. I know that was a setup. Everyone's laughing at me.
Yeah. Looks at Ross. Let's mess with Kyle.
Yeah. And Ross is like, yeah, I'm going to win anyway. I don't care.
Yeah.
Alright, so we see the Bianca. The energy goes in the Mewtwo, the Eevee as well. Matt's probably going to want to get another Darkrai out here. He's got a Dark Patch. Who knows?
I don't see a way in his hand to get one.
No, he doesn't have anything. So all he can do is pass again. Keep powering up Mewtwo. You know, if he gets another blend, he can actually side drive for 120.
That's true. I got side drive to Nationals. I didn't even see it coming. I didn't even know Mewtwo had a second attack.
Yeah, most people don't. I mean, he's got X-Ball. What else do you need to read? I don't think side drive will come into play here. Doing 120, it's not going to make any difference from an X-Ball. But yeah, it's out there. It could happen.
Yeah, you never know.
I would like to see a side drive in one of our matches. Haven't seen that ever.
Ever.
So, I mean, Matt, all he can do is sit there. He's paralyzed. Doesn't run switch. No way to get out of the status effect, so he's just got to sit here, and Frost paralyzes him, and he's stuck.
Should have switched in Espeon for his Hydreigon line.
Alright, so Ross is going to retreat to his Victini. He's probably just going to play Switch, and then Dragon Burst for the knockout here. And, you know, this is just the beginning of the end for Matt, I think.
Yep.
There's the Switch. We're going to see the Dragon Burst for 180. Let's take down that Darkrai.
All downhill from here.
Yeah, Ross gets a Sky Arrow out too, which is going to be big. Gives him free retreat between the Rayquaza and the Raikou. And an N as well. You know, Matt's just going to need to get another Darkrai powered up. Mewtwo is not going to cut it, because when Rayquaza attacks, it discards all the energy.
Yeah, Mewtwo's not doing much.
Yeah, unless you have stuff to actually power up Mewtwo, or at least double colorless. It's not going to work. It works well with Hydreigon, because you can just get that one big turn where you Dark Trance, move all your energy to it, but
yeah. I guess he could, if he gets the other blend, he could catch up the eel, get rid of that, and maybe Ross doesn't hit any more eels.
Yeah, maybe.
He's got a grasp at straws here.
I mean, that's all he got.
Sliver of hope.
He got a double Dark Patch off of his N here.
Oh, wow.
So he'll be able to power up a Darkrai immediately. He's got an Ultra Ball, 2 Dark Patches, and an Energy. He's got a Max Potion, which you can just get rid of.
Still, Ross's field, he's got 2 eels out now.
Yeah, it's going to be tough no matter what.
It's a 2-prize lead after this turn.
Yeah, that's not too unusual, but in this situation, yeah, just that Ross can paralyze Matt over and over is going to be the big deal. Matt's going to need to draw a catcher to just start picking off the Eelektriks, put 30 on the Victini, catch out Eelektrik, knock out the Victini. Then he can start to make a comeback, but until then, it's going to be bad. He'll probably be able to Night Spear next turn, but even just hitting the Rayquaza for 90 doesn't really do much for you. You can set up a play where you knock out Rayquaza and knock out Victini at the same time, but then Ross still has 2 Electrics out, and you're probably done for anyway.
Yeah, you get 3 prizes, but what's the point, really?
And Matt draws the most useless card in the deck, Rare Candy. He shows it to me, yeah. So he's going to discard that and Max Potion probably and get his Darkrai out. Double Dark Patch, attach. He can Night Spear.
Yeah, that's about all he can do. He could put an Eviolite on it, hope for the best.
Yeah. He could actually attach an X-Ball for 80 if he wants to set up for a Night Spear knockout, but it's probably not the best option.
Yeah, I mean, at this point,
might as well just Night Spear.
Go full steam ahead.
At this point, Ross, most of his deck is going to be live cards at this point that are going to help him attack more.
Yeah, he's really thinned it out.
Yeah, well, Matt will get a Night Spear. I don't see Ross getting a Dragon Burst off next turn, but it could happen. It just takes a Switch and a Lightning, I guess.
That's not too unrealistic.
Yeah, but Matt got an Eviolite too,
so that's going to save him.
He's going to need a Switch, an Eelektrik, and a Lightning. It's a triple Dynamotor.
Yeah, maybe Ross will just go put 2 Lightning on the Raikou and try to paralyze 2 turns in a row.
So where's Matt going to put this damage? It should probably just go on Victini.
Yeah.
It will.
Might as well.
At this point, though, like you said, he's down 2 prizes. Ross has got a full setup. This is just what the paralysis can do to you if you don't have a way out of it. It just buys Ross so much time. Like, when this deck sets up, it is hands down the strongest deck in the format.
For sure.
Just the Rayquaza knocks out everything in one hit once you get enough energy on him. So, yeah, it's a nice strategy, the Victini, just to keep paralyzing it.
Yeah, Rayquaza is just a super attacker with energy acceleration. I think it was the 04 season. There was a very similar Rayquaza EX, and that dominated a whole year as well. So
and that only did 40 for each.
Yeah,
energy.
that one only did 40.
Look how far cards have come. It's does 60 for each energy. They didn't even up it up by 10.
HP is upped up a little bit.
I think if they made it do 50 for each, it would still be playable. But 60 for each, it's pretty good.
That's the magic number for a lot of EXs for 3 energy.
And so Ross is playing another Ultra Ball, so oh no, he's going to get the triple Eelektrik. So if he has a switch and a Lightning, he can pull off a Dragon Burst for 220.
Yeah, just really any switch, because he can free retreat, and he's going to get 3 Lightning on the... Oh, I guess he has the Eevee. My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
Tool Scraper, live card as well.
Yeah, he's already played 1. I don't know if he plays 2 or not. It's usually a card you play 2 of if you're going to play it.
Yeah, in this type of format where you don't have a lot of item search, you kind of have to play 2 of everything.
Yeah.
1 of is just like a crapshoot to draw into 1 card.
Yeah.
If you can't search for it.
You can get away with playing 1 with like Sableye, because you can just junk hunt for it.
Yeah, that's true.
But otherwise, you run 2 because if you run 1, you're not going to draw it when you need it, and you might have to discard 1 early. It's good against stuff like Garbodor, where you really need a turn to, get some Dynamotors going.
Get some tools off the field.
Yeah. We haven't seen any Garbodor decks have any sort of success beyond the top 32. They showed up a lot in Swiss. I actually played against 3 of them. There's a deck that caught steam, just Darkrai, Garbodor, Crushing Hammer. But it fizzled out. I think Matt took out the last one in top 32. The field has just been mostly Darkrai, Terrakion, Eelektriks. Mainly just Darkrai and Eelektrik is what it's boiled down to.
Some Hydreigon, Darkrai mixed in there.
Actually, John Roberts is playing a weird deck as well. He's got a bunch of different fighting stuff, like Stunfisk.
Oh man, that was my deck I was testing out before the event.
So he's got like the most unique deck here, I think. But other than that, most of the stuff is pretty standard.
See if Ross hit the switch off of that.
Yeah, I mean, he got the Lightning, so he might have 2 different arts of switch. He's just trying to decide which one he wants to play. He's got the Expedition one.
Yeah, when you take that much time, you really have to think about this kind of thing,
Yeah. So if he doesn't have the switch, he can just triple Dynamotor and Volt Bolt this turn.
That is an option. Set up
or just
Mewtwo.
Or just do it twice and then Thunder Fang. Try to paralyze the Darkrai.
Yeah, he's really in firm control. Can't really go wrong either way.
Once you get 3 Eelektriks out, that's just... You power up anything in 1 turn. You can just drop a Rayquaza with a fire, put 3 energy on it, and do 180. That's disgusting. So, let's see. It doesn't look like Ross has a switch. Even he would have played it by now. He's going to get 2 Lightning. Maybe, I don't know how many Lightning actually is in the discard.
I think he discarded 1. He already used the attack discarding 3 Lightning, didn't he?
Yeah, that's true. Oh, he's got the Tool Scrapper. Wow. It's not making Matt too happy.
Oh, no.
It's definitely going to make life easier for Ross in the future. That's all 3 Eeveelites gone. It's 1 less energy he has to discard for Dragon Burst. And now the Thunder Fang actually does 30 damage instead of 10.
Yeah, maybe he's going to save the last Lightning for the Rayquaza.
Yeah, definitely. He's got to use his Dynamotors up.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt is safe to say this one's over, I think.
I think so. I mean, Matt had a good run, put up a big fight in the first game. This one not going so hot. He didn't have such a good start.
Man, at this rate, Ross won't go to time for once.
Oh, hey, Thunder Fang got tails, double tails. Oh.
Does he even have... Is he... I don't know if that's enough, you know?
Yeah, it's a start. It's definitely an opening.
Does the Rayquaza has 90 on it, right?
Yeah. So he can take a triple prize turn if he gets a catcher here. And that's going to force Ross to have another Rayquaza and a fire. Because he really doesn't have anything else that can knock out Darkrai.
But
doesn't
Matt
look like
only
Matt.
has one card, it looks like.
I don't even think Matt has a hand. He's got that one card.
Just flips over the catcher. Gotcha.
Surprise. So what is he going to do? He could... he should probably just Night Spirit, honestly.
Night Spirits, yeah.
It's still a chance he could win. Just, hit the Raikou for 90. Knock out Victini, I guess. And then you can maybe X-Ball, knock out Rayquaza.
Yeah, would you actually do the 30 to the Rayquaza so you for sure X-Ball kill it maybe?
Oh, it's got 90 on it already.
So he would discard down to the Fire Energy.
It depends on if Matt has an energy in his hand.
Yeah.
He can attach a third time and X-Ball.
Yeah. We don't know what that one card is. Probably a rare candy.
We'll find out. Or he's just not going to show us. He's actually going to use the turn to Junk Hunt, which I don't mind. Of course, if Ross has a catcher, this is just the game over.
Ross have a catcher, but his hand is pretty big over there.
Yeah. I mean, what else can Matt do? He's probably going to get back like an Eelektrik or something. Or no, he's getting back a Dark Patch.
I would maybe the Ram receiver and the catcher personally, but...
Yeah, Matt drew a Darkrai, that's why.
Ross count his cards.
Yeah, so he's probably going to play a Juniper. I mean, Ross is pretty smart guy. He's going to know what resources he has left. He's going to know... the danger with that is, like, if you play all your switches and then you run out of cards in your deck and you're stuck with an Eelektrik active and you can't retreat it, he's going to be sure not to walk into that. But that would be one way for Matt to, like, steal a win.
It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
We saw Ross run out of fire energy in Swiss one game.
Yeah. That was against Crushing Hammer, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he stole... Ross did win that game on time.
Yeah.
Big surprise.
He finds a way. Let's see. Ross, looks like there's probably about 10 cards left in his deck. So if he has a Juniper, he's going to have enough turns to win. I mean, he just has to knock out 2 more EXs and it's over. That Mewtwo is just asking to be knocked out at some point. But the problem is if he plays a Juniper here, does he have to discard his other Rayquaza EX?
Yeah, or discard some switches, something like that.
Or even some fires.
Yeah.
So it's a risky move if he doesn't have the catcher and he wants to go for it. I don't actually think it's like an urgent thing to even get a knockout on one of those EXs this turn. You might actually just get away with Volt Bolting for 100 somewhere.
Yeah, obviously he has the lead here. He can afford to play it kind of somewhat conservatively.
Yeah. And it looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. He can just Volt Bolt, hit Darkrai or Mewtwo for 100. And then it doesn't matter because he can just triple Dynamo and power it up again.
He can power up whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's probably just going to hit Darkrai. Oh, he's going to go for Sableye.
It's kind of weird because Matt's not going to play another one prize Pokemon.
Yeah, that is very strange. Ross to target down Sableye of all things. I guess I actually don't know what that's for.
Yeah, I completely disagree with that.
Yeah. And now Matt, he's got a random receiver. He's going to get an N. Maybe the tides are turning here. If he gets a catcher, he can catcher the Rayquaza and knock out the Victini, take a 3-prize turn. That would take away Ross's free retreater, so he can't even get a Volt Bolt for sure unless he draws a switch.
Yeah, Ross didn't put 100 damage on the Darkrai, so...
Yeah, that's not even...
He can't KO back.
Yeah, unless he gets a Rayquaza and a Fire, so... Matt, he's got a shot here if he draws a catcher. Does he get it? Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is suddenly a lot closer.
So he's got a clear play here. Definitely just take the Rayquaza. Take your 3 prizes here. Attach an energy. I would honestly just keep powering up a Mewtwo. Just try to get a big X-Ball at the end.
Yeah, I feel like Darkrai is pretty easy to power up.
He didn't draw an energy. His 20 energy deck, he didn't draw an energy off that hand. He's going to take the 3 prizes. Something else.
There's 3 Darks.
3 Darks off his prizes. Something else that could come up. I mean, I don't know how much time's left, but it's got to be getting low. Matt could potentially just like take a 4th prize and win it, but never mind. Ross got the absolute perfect hand off of that.
Rayquaza, Fire,
Bianca. He's gonna triple Dynamo and just Dragon Burst for a knockout, and that's pretty much game over.
Wow. Oh, Matt had to feel so excited last turn.
I know, he had such a big turn. He gave himself the best chance to win. You know, if he would have gotten a Shaman EX out and an energy on it, he would have had a shot still.
Yeah, he could. Ross would be down to 1 prize, and the Shaman would be swinging for 180. So.
Yeah, but the way things are now, he doesn't play Energy Switch. His Hydreigon is on the sidelines for this one. His deck list was not correct.
Yeah, well, I think he has an in his hand again. If he could power up the Darkrai again, take out an Eel. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of something for him.
I think you would actually have to just attack the Rayquaza at that point.
And hope Ross doesn't hit his switch or something.
Yeah. He's actually just pretty done for either way. The triple Eelektrik just gives Ross too many options. It's just 2 Volt Bolts can be game over. He can just retreat and power up Rayquaza. So no matter what Matt does, he's pretty dead.
He's definitely running out of choices.
Unless Ross, he's out of switches or something. I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, he could always bring up an Eel and hope for the best. He did discard 2 energy for this, so...
Yeah, I'm sure Ross has at least 2 switch left, though.
Yeah, not sure how many he's played this game, but it's definitely not very many at all.
Yeah. Ross with that Rayquaza there, that's pretty much sealing the game.
Yeah.
There's no way Matt can win anymore.
Yeah, you see switch in the deck, I see one.
Yeah. So, I mean, Matt, that was an exciting turn there. If Ross had missed there, didn't get the Rayquaza, I think Matt actually still had a good chance to win.
Yeah, at the same time, Ross, that was really late game, and he pretty much killed a ton of dead cards out of his deck.
Yeah, that's true. Ross is actually very good about that. I noticed that every time he plays, when it gets down to these late game situations, he has very few dead cards left in his deck for him to draw from end. He's on top of Ultra Balling away the right stuff, playing out whatever he can, and I rarely see him get hit by an end where he just doesn't draw out of it.
Alright, Matt's gonna take a look at the discard pile, see the grim fate awaiting him.
Yeah.
He knows that Ross has a ton of stuff left.
I mean, he's gonna go out with a Mewtwo bang, I guess. Now, you know what? Matt actually still has a chance, believe it or not. He needs to hit this Rayquaza this turn.
That's what you think.
What I was thinking was, okay, he can just, I guess X-Ball would do 80. And then Ross could, he could threaten like the Volt for the game. But Matt plays Max Potion.
That's true.
So he could have just healed off 100.
And then attached again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely an option.
But you know what? Matt actually still does have a chance, believe it or not. If Ross, bear with me. If Ross doesn't draw a switch in like 4 turns, and Matt just keeps powering up Mewtwo and catches out the Rayquaza and knocks it out.
That is true. That is an out. Let's see Ross just flip over the switch here.
Yeah, I mean, odds are Ross just gets a switch here and it's game over. But if he can get 5 more energy on that Mewtwo before it happens,
yeah,
he can pull it off.
He did get the max potion, so
yeah,
your strategy is kind of live.
It's probably not going to come into play anymore.
There's only 1 surprise left on Ross's side.
Yeah, Matt's just kind of throwing a Hail Mary here. He's thinking back to his top 32 match against the Garbodor deck where he decked him out by stranding a Garbodor active until the guy decked out. Ross is not
going to work here.
No, it's not going to work against Ross. He's played the game for far too long to fall for a silly trick like that.
Yep.
So Ross, he's thinning out his deck. He gets a level ball. I actually think he has a supporter in his hand too.
Yeah.
So,
Man needs his surprise Gothitelle to stop switch or something.
that would actually work. Yeah. Believe it or not, he just
slips that in.
He needs to pull out his Zebstrika, start disconnecting.
I don't think Ross has a supporter. I think he just thinned his deck one more card.
That could be. Now Ross, he's got to be careful. He can just Dynamotor to his Rayquaza. He has to be careful not to do too many Dynamotors because then it would open up the door for Mewtwo. So he'll recognize this, I'm sure, but he wants to put enough on there so if an Eelektrik gets knocked out, he can do it anyway.
Yeah, this is kind of a weird situation.
But, he does have 4 Eelektriks in place, so he can just do anything he wants. At this point, it's kind of a weird decision, actually. I mean, Ross, he can... If he doesn't Dynamotor all of the energy to the Rayquaza, Matt can actually catch her down and X-Ball it. And then if Ross doesn't have the next energy to attach, he'd have to retreat the Rayquaza, because otherwise it gets knocked out. And then they can get catch it again.
Yep.
I think the right number to put on the Rayquaza is actually 2 energy. That way you can just triple Dynamotor to your Raikou and then Dragon Burst for 120 and just set up the game-winning play. Even putting 3 on the Rayquaza is fine. I don't think Matt's going to knock that out anytime soon.
Yeah, he has plenty of options. He really has Matt backed into a corner.
Yeah. All right, we get another energy. Matt, he recognizes the X-Ball strategy and passes.
Yeah.
This is not over yet, but there's an N.
N.
That's fine.
Extending his deck some more.
There's got to be at least 1 switch left. Probably 2. So this should just be a matter of time. But Matt does have 4 energy on Mewtwo. There's 6 combined. He needs 3 more turns to
If the switch are the last 2 cards, I mean, Mewtwo could go wild.
Yeah. But Ross, he got it. Switch off the 1 card, and that's going to do it. Ross Cawthon will take the series 2-0, ending the fairy tale of...
Looks like he had plenty of supporters left.
Yeah.
So.
Ross is just showing that my whole deck was pretty much out at that point. Congrats to Matt. He had a great run. I mean, you got a feel for the guy. He didn't get to actually use his deck. But he made a series out of this. Both games were actually very close at the end.
Yeah.
Ross, he's going to...
Darkrai.
Yeah. Ross, he's going to keep going on. He's in the top 4. We could see another major tournament win for Ross, who has a ton of those under his belt already. He's clearly one of the best players in the world. And, he's only lost 1 game this whole weekend, which was to Andrew, who is 9-0.
Yeah, he lost the last game of Swiss.
Yeah. So anything can happen here. We're going to be down to 4 players at this point. So we'll be back with the top 4 shortly, but we're going to take a little break. And then we'll be right back when those matches start up.
Yeah, keep watching, guys. Thanks.